Maureen's now in charge. And apparently for Maureen being in charge, I mean, literally the only thing we get with Maureen is her telling Raylan, hey, there's flowers in the room for you. I do feel like Maureen and Sandy are being significantly underutilized on this show, but that's just my perspective. I don't know how you guys think.
Well, I think it could be, just the number of episodes. They can't really go. The length of this season is relatively short compared to the other previous seasons. So,
true.
So maybe that might be it.
Maybe if we had dropped the Willa plot lines in the first few episodes, but in a Maureen plot line, it would have been a little bit better there. But
so if I could address the whole Willa thing for a second, because they really do drop it. Because if you think about knowing that plot line and knowing Winona, who she is, wouldn't you think at some point since Willa left that Raylan would get at least one call from Winona going, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Why is Will back? Like, not one call from Winona asking why Raylan didn't take her to whatever that camp she was supposed to go
to. Yeah. No yelling at him, nothing. Just absolute radio silence. And I did. Yeah. I think it's because Winona was busy making La Brea, I think, is what was going on there. So that's why that's that show she's on on one of the networks, the prehistoric show.
Was that? Oh, I was gonna say that was the earthquake one, but that's it's one where she gets sent to a different world or something.
Yeah, it's right? Like she gets like sent back to dinosaur times or whatever. Or like I don't know if it's the world like the world within the world that's from King Kong and versus Godzilla. Maybe it's like the jungle world at the center of the earth or whatever. But yeah. So, but Willa's gone and she's not in the mood to text either. And I wrote OMG, K, thanks, bye on here. Like that's all we get of Willa in this episode. But I did notice that apparently Raylan has never sent Willa a text, but either one of two things, right? Either Raylan has never sent Willa a text before, or Raylan maintains very good operational security and deletes all of his texts every night.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he's sending her a text for the first time. But all right, let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, I have Raylan might be a little toxic, and so they have this awkward. Raylan and Carolyn have this awkward kiss in the driveway, right? And boy, it went on. I gotta say, back on the awkward relationship thing, that kiss went on for what seemed like forever, and it felt really weird to be watching it. I don't know how you guys feel.
I think that it's just like you're saying. It's like almost. I don't want to say it's unbelievable, but it's just awkward, and it's something new. We haven't seen it before.
Yeah,
as far as in the series, I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Of Raylan sort of like heavily pursuing someone and her sort of being into it. Yeah. There's a lot more playful kind of back and forth with Raylan's targets in past Justifieds. I did want to mention this. I went back and looked at, I thought about Raylan's relationships with Winona and Ava and the various other women that he was involved with in Justified. I thought about Tim Oliphant's relationship with Drew Barrymore on the Santa Clarita Diet. I thought about Tim Oliphant's relationship with Skylar White on Deadwood, and also with that Catherine of Aragon. That's who she was on The Tudors, the laudanum addict on Deadwood. And I think in all of those instances, there was it felt like minimal chemistry. Like, I think maybe he and Ava had the best chemistry. So I'm attributing this not necessarily to the characters. I'm attributing, or to the unbelievable kind of element of the plot line. I'm attributing this to the actors, unfortunately. I think that they maybe just didn't have chemistry together.
Well, I have to wonder if, and I'm all for the fact that for monogamy and long-term relationship, but I didn't realize until I was reading some stuff up earlier today, is that he's married to his college sweetheart. So that might have something to do with it. Like he hasn't been in the field for a long, long time. So that I'm just, playing, I'm not an actor. I don't know acting method, but I wonder whether that plays into it, that he just doesn't have that in him of knowing the whole thing of the pursuit of a woman and, the new romance and stuff like that. The spitball here.
I immediately thought of that as well. I immediately thought that, hey, maybe he's just so devoted to his wife and his family that it's hard for him to sort of act, to even step into Raylan's shoes in these circumstances. I thought that maybe that had something to do with it. And hearing what you're saying kind of reinforces that for me a little bit too. I know that, what's his name? The guy who played Quarles. He's like a ultra religious person. Yeah. And he doesn't like to do violent things on camera. He doesn't like to, I believe he won't kiss on camera because he's married, and he won't kiss another actress.
So Paul Newman's was married to Joanne Woodward for, 50, 60 years. And I just wonder whether there are some actors that can separate themselves from their personal history and some can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might have something to do with it here. I think you're onto something.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, The Rock is like that too. I mean, he doesn't have any. I mean, they put him in these movies, right? And I don't think I've ever seen him in a convincing role as far as having chemistry with a female actress. I don't know.
Are you questioning The Rock's acting ability?
It's yes.
Hey, look, he gets a lifetime pass for me from that Fast and Furious movie where he's got his arm in a cast.
That's right.
And he's like, "Daddy's got to go to work," and then flexes and breaks the cast.
That's right. Well, he's no Jason Statham, and I got to give credit to him because he really can act. The Stath can. Oh, he can. Yeah, he really can. So.
It's not just because he's British. It seems like he can act.
No, he no, he can act.
So, all right. Well, let's see. We've got a few more things that I wanted to talk about here. So we find out that Sweetie's underwater financially, desperate to get out of the hole. Carolyn tries to get his partner to move the gun. We don't know if that actually happens or not. But so Carolyn now is not only conspiring against one client with another client, she's conspiring against one client with someone who's not even a client. So yeah, playing fast and loose with the ethical rules for sure. We got an appearance from Toma, who is the head of the Albanian group there on this side of the river, is what they say. And that guy's played by McManus from Oz, and he's in Billions also. He's like a black bag man in Billions, and he's good at that. He's been in a bunch of other stuff, but I remember him as McManus from Oz.
I love that show.
I do too. I unapologetically love it, and I think it needs some. I think it's a little bit naive, or a little bit maybe like a theater student's kind of experiment almost, the way that they did the show. But I really enjoy it, and I think it's a great sort of look at the prison system and how messed up the prison system is in this country. So,
yeah.
I have this. We have this feature, of course.
This is Detroit, Rock City, Detroit City.
And so this one's actually, this is not Detroit is what I'm gonna do, because as we know, I think we talked about it last episode, this show is filmed in Chicago, not in Detroit, and it usually they're pretty good about not giving that away, but in these two episodes we had two very clear Chicago references. RJ Grunt's is a restaurant in Chicago. It's sort of a TGI Fridays, like an upscale TGI Fridays sort of feel. It felt like that's where Clement got his steak black and blue, or ordered his steak black and blue, but didn't get it black and blue, and sent it back in kind of it's also our oh wait, where's this one?
I served with
Boyd Crowder.
I knew
Boyd Crowder.
Senator, you're no
Boyd Crowder. Yeah. So this is, that whole interaction with Clement and the waitress sort of felt like a Boyd Crowder sort of soliloquy that he was doing there when he told her to go back, put it on the grill, hum first two verses of whatever the White Stripes song was he referenced, and then flip it over and hum the last verse and bring it out to me. It felt very much like trying to capture a Boyd Crowder sort of a soliloquy there, and it failed. I think it was entertaining, but not much more than that. But yeah, RJ Grunt's is a restaurant in Chicago, and the Steak and Egger, where they went for breakfast the next day, that is also in Chicago. There's like a bunch of them in the Chicagoland area, but there is actually one in Muskegon. But as Michael will tell us, Muskegon's on the other side of the state from Detroit.
Yeah, Muskegon. Yeah, it's a good 2.5 hours from Detroit.
Yeah.
So as a native Detroiter, I will tell you, not that many shows take place or are filmed in Detroit. So by being very familiar with that, because I've lived in Detroit for so many years, there were definitely things I have my eye out for. One of which was when they first have Carolyn at her house, and on the screen it says the words Grosse Pointe.
Yes.
If you notice, the spelling was there's no E at the end of either Grosse or Point. And there is actually a street in the Chicago area, I think up in Skokie, which is a suburb, it's called Grosse Pointe without the E's at the end.
Oh, interesting.
Whereas the Grosse Pointe that is a suburb of Detroit has an E at both end of Grosse and the end of Point, as in the movie Grosse Point Blank.
Yes, those of us who are unabashed John Cusack fans are very familiar with that. So.
Right. So when I saw that on the screen of Grosse Pointe without the E's, I was cringing. I was like, "Oh, that's Chicago's Grosse Pointe. That's not Detroit."
And I was going to say that's the John Hughes universe over there, right?
Yeah.
From the 80s, like all of those movies from that took place in that area, right? Is that correct?
So, John Hughes was a Chicago. He was I think he was originally from Detroit, but his movies mostly took place in the Chicago area. But when Cameron wore a Red Wings jersey in Ferris Bueller, was homage to John Hughes being originally from Detroit, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's cool. That's a nice little tidbit there.
That
cool.
is. So yeah, all right. So that's our This Is Detroit, or more specifically, This Is Not Detroit moment there, and also our You're no Boyd Crowder, Senator. You're no Boyd Crowder. Let's see. I think. So yeah, let's talk about Jamal just for a second, because I one of the things I did love about this episode was the Jamal Raylan interaction in Carolyn's driveway. I thought it was fantastic. It very much harkened back to original OG Justified for me. How did you guys feel about that?
Oh yeah, it was probably because Jamal, I think, he adds a lot to these two episodes. There's that interaction, and then at the restaurant, and then later on where it's Anjanae Ellis or Carolyn and him. I mean, those three that happen over these two episodes. Those three scenes are very good.
Yeah,
very, very good.
Yeah, I thought there was more of the good guy, bad guy chemistry there than there was with. I'm drawing blank all of a sudden on the whole. I can't believe drawing blank on the
Wild Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Manziel.